Hello again, this is Peter's Perspective, episode number 3. You have a choice. So often in research, I see again and again this problem where people confuse causalities. They confuse cause with effect, and you see it all the time in neuroscience. All these brain studies coming out saying that such and such means that you're going to do this. It's very deterministic because it's saying, most of the time, people do this because they have this particular aspect of their brains that are wired this way. And usually, by and large, this research ignores which came first, the chicken or the egg. Did the wiring come that way in your brain first, or was it changed to that over time through the choices that you make? A friend and I used to, in university, a good friend Jonathan Martinez, used to talk about whether ducks have free will. I know it's so incredibly intellectual, but we were talking about matters of free choice and individualism. There are certain constraints in our environment, and genetically and physically and so on, yes, where we can't do certain things. I cannot choose, for example, to have hair on the top of my head other than what's already there. I could worry about as much as I want, it won't change a thing. I cannot choose, just offhand, to be 3 or 4 inches taller, or to look like Hugh Jackman, on the movie set all buffed up. It's just not going to happen just by my choosing to be that. It's not like The Secret when Oprah used to do it. However, there are, within certain constraints, choices that I have available to me, and they are far more than I would naturally tend to assume. People limit their ability to do things in life based upon what they think they can't do, not what they can do. It's always a case of saying, well, I can't do that, I can't do this, or I can't be that way, or I can't lose weight, or I can't start that new business, or I can't get a promotion there. And it's always about what I can't do so often the time, instead of what I can do. And the fact is, we have a myriad of huge range of choices. I was speaking with somebody today who was saying that he's now a national champion in triathletics in Australia. He's going to a competition in Hawaii, and 4 years ago, the only swimming stroke he could do very well was a breaststroke. And now he's swimming in the freestyle and obviously lots of different styles as well. Fabulous swimmer because he's a triathlete. He's very, very high capability. He's done it within 4 years. He's a grown adult. He hasn't learned this as a kid. He made the choice to continue to work at it, to work hard, to overcome some of his weaknesses and become a much, much better swimmer. There was a study that was recently released about psychopaths, and saying that the old bromide in psychotherapy and psychiatry was, psychopaths have no empathy. And it's just not biologically there. Their brains aren't wired for it. Well, lo and behold, some new neuroscience research has demonstrated that when you look at the empathy centers of the brain during operation for people who are criminal psychopaths, they have been arrested, jailed, and so on, identified clearly as psychopaths, that when they view materials that require some empathy, they don't naturally tend to go that way. But that if you ask them to show some empathy, they can switch it on, and their brains suddenly light up in this area of empathy because they have made a choice to start being empathetic, which also means that you can teach people those kinds of things as well. We have far more choices than we think we do, and we need to really emphasize that rather than what we can't do. Now, you have some other choices as well. I have online videos on leadership and public speaking. Of course, I have my workshops, consulting, executive coaching. If you at all enjoy any of these aspects of the videos, do consider at the minimum having a look at those online videos. You'll find that each week you get tips on your leadership or on your public speaking. There are videos included in there on communications in general and so on. Great stuff, I must admit. You'll love it. Minimal investment. Give it a try. Also, I have workshops. This is called subliminal advertising, by the way, where I have a picture of some details of workshop I have coming up. But I run those a couple of times a year for senior leaders in communications. If you're living in America, hey, I'm happy to come over your way and run some workshops for you too. But having said that, there is another choice that you have to make, which is that in the area under here on this video, there's a space where you can write some comments in. So please write some comments, share your feelings, thoughts, ideas about any of these videos. Would love to hear from you. It's your choice.